management of our society. Thank you, Lord, for the good news that we continue to hear from them. Thank you, Lord, for leading them to lead us aright. May your presence continue to lead us even as we gather together for this meeting today in the mighty name of Jesus. We therefore commit this meeting into your hand. Almighty God, let your spirit guide us, lead us, inspire us, and show us the way to go in the mighty name of Jesus. We cover the environment, the blood of Jesus Christ, and go against every evil that may be planned against this meeting in the mighty name of Jesus. At the end of this meeting today, Father, let your name be glorified. Thank you, Father, for in Jesus' mighty name we are prayed.
Thank you very much, sir. Now that we have committed to these activities on the hand of God, let me start the business of the day. Quickly, let me remind those who are watching us at home that we have started this meeting and we make provision for the Zoom link so that those who are able to join us here for one reason or the other will have the opportunity of also knowing what is going on here. It is not an opportunity for people to stay away because attendance at our meetings have always been a challenging issue. But at the end of this AGM, we would have taken a decision that will take care of the non-channels with which we treat important meetings such as the AGM. But before we go to the details of that, let me introduce our board members, starting with the president of the Cooperative Society, Professor Oou-Asuu. A round of applause for the president. He is the one who has been steering the ship and he has been doing so effectively. So, Mr. President, you're welcome, sir. I also want to introduce the Vice President, who is also a professor, Professor Wale Oou-Asuu, and he is the chairperson of the organizing committee for the AGM. The Vice President, Professor Jimmy Roundabout. Professors, we have another professor who is also a member of the board. Maybe I'll just follow that protocol to the end. He was a former secretary and is still a very active member of the board. Professor Oou-Asuu, the immediate part of the board. There are other professors too. For those who are present, I would like to introduce our own CBN governor, the man who is in charge of managing and advising us on how to manage the resources that we have. I was talking about the treasurer of the society, Dr. Bami Dele. He another member, an agronomist, the PRO of the cooperative society. I was asking for the title of your chieftaincy in Ayetoro, but they said I shouldn't mention that. He's a chief in Ayetoro too. Dr. Davis is in charge of our farms. So if you have questions on our farm project you really want to answer, I'm very sure we shall be selling palm oil to you. Dr. Davis is a member of the board. We have other members, but they're not here. I'm also the errand boy of the board. My name is Ajayi. I'm the secretary to the board. I welcome myself. So that is, we have Dr. Oou-Asuu as a member of the board, as a former president, an ex-official member. He's not here now. He'll be here today, but I think he will join us because of the program. So please a round of applause for Dr. Oou-Asuu, our own IPC. That is the makeup of the board. And the purpose of today's gathering is to make lighter the business of the AGM by identifying some items that could easily be discussed at a gathering such as this, to make it faster for us when we meet again for the AGM proper. And the president will be telling you more about this as we move on, even as we expect other members to join us. Because if you look at this all right now, it's, I don't know, it's not important at all. But it is something that we must do, and that is why we are doing it. So without wasting much time, the agenda is already projected for all of us to see. And before we can even follow the agenda in discussing the business of the day, we need to adapt it. So, with the permission of the president, I want a member of the AGM to move for the adoption of the agenda, and another person to second, so we can move on. Okay, please.
I, Dr. Cycles Oou-Asuu from Department of Environmental Sciences, I move for the adoption of this agenda.
Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Obi has moved for the adoption. Is anyone opposing that? Or is anyone supporting it? Sir.
I, Dr. Adele, for Faculty of Education, help us.
Dr. Adele from the Faculty of Education supporting the motion for the adoption of the agenda. So, the motion for the adoption that we have supported, so we go straight to the business of the day. And that's by inviting the president to give his welcome address. The president, Professor Oou, will give his welcome address. Please a round of applause for the president.
I welcome all of us to this period here. Well, today is not a speech-making day for the president of the society. That is reserved for the AGM proper. And I just want to welcome us warmly to this period here and to emphasize the fact that we are here to present worship as a board to all of you who put us there in charge of your funds. So on behalf of the board of directors, I welcome every one of us to this period here. I want to appreciate we, from time to time, make policies to regulate the affairs of the society. We have, in the last 1 year, received tremendous support and cooperation from all operators. And on behalf of the board, I want to thank every one of us. And I think for me, you all deserve applause for that. You deserve applause for that. Thank you very much. We are very grateful. The last 1 year has been a challenging year for us as a society for 2 reasons. Number one, we did not have enough access to funds to do the business of the society as we would have loved to, because as we speak, the university is still owing us about 5 months of checkoff from the arrears of our last strike, which is close to about 300 million. And if we had that amount of money, you can imagine what we would have been able to do with it in terms of investing and returns that we would have got. We didn't have that in the last 1 year. And while we were grappling with that, we had a new government that came into being in Nigeria in May, and from June, the narrative of our economy in Nigeria changed, not for the positive, but the negative. Things have been very, very hard for the average Nigerian. And to be honest, the austere period and the harsh economic environment since June last year has made it tremendously difficult to run any business. And we all know it. So it hasn't been easy. But with the help of God and the ingenuity of members of the board, we have continued to devise means to cope with the situation. Consequently, I will say that we have witnessed increased demand for loans, especially soft loans from our members, and understandably so, because of the harsh economic environment. Every week we are dealing with requests for people for soft loan, and I am glad to say that in spite of the lean pulse of the cooperative, we attended to all the loan requests we received last year. Not only that, we also attended to our cooperative loan request. That's the major cooperative loan, which we capped at 3.5 million per person. All the requests we got, we also attended. As we speak, we are not doing loan that we ought to give to anybody. Of course, you know very well that when you make your request, sometimes you expect to get the cooperative loan the very month you sent in your request, and you see that what we have been doing is that as we have funds, we will attend to the request. So sometimes your request will be attended to until maybe 2 months after you made that request. It's because of this paucity of funds. But we have made sure that we do not show preferential treatment to anybody. Nobody. You don't need to see any board member, you don't need to see any president for your cooperative loan request to be attended to. And that's one thing about our society. Once you drop your request, we treat the request. You don't need to see anybody behind for your loan request to be granted for as long as you qualify. In the same period, there were a few of us who requested for overseas loan to attend one thing or the other, maybe academic conference or so. We also attended to all that. And then what makes me happy is the growth we have also experienced with our consumer units. Every month or every other month, we spend millions of money to stock that place. And I'm also happy that patronage of the consumer unit has also improved tremendously. Many times I read there, I will say that there are no goods here, and in my heart I'm saying our members will be asking for things. So I will prompt the consumer unit, please, you need to go to the market and stock this place. And we have been doing that. I want to use this occasion to thank the with hope. We have continued to engage the university management concerning the areas of check-off that were owed, and the VC has kept it. When we met with him about a month ago, he said, I will pay 1 month of one of the 6 months we were being owed. He told us, he said, I will pay that one before the end of that month. And he did. So what we have been owed now is about 5 months out of the 6 months that we had. Then he also told us at that meeting, he said, I will make sure that I pay you the check-off for the month before Friday. I think we met him on Wednesday of that week. And truly, we got that check-off. And as I speak to you now, with the new school fees that the university is collecting, the university has paid us the check-off for March, which wasn't like that before. We have to call the bossa, prayer, but now the university has paid the check-off for March. In fact, was paid last week. So we are hoping that this will improve, things will get better, and that in our discussion with the VC has said that he is committed to clearing all the areas of check-off. We are hoping that the university will be able to do that before the end of 2024. So if that is done, the money we pegged at 3.5 million per person, we will revisit it. And so that's why I said I look at 2024 with hope and faith. And I'm trusting that for all corporators, this year will be better than 2023. Once again, I welcome all of us to this pre-AGM. More detailed information will be provided by the Secretary in the management report. I welcome you one, I welcome you all. Thank you very much.
This program is being streamed live for the benefits of those who, for one reason or the other, are not privileged to be here. Already we have some people online, and I'd like to acknowledge their presence there. So if they are listening to us, I want to welcome Agbolade Olufemi Moses, Abiola Urojaye, Dr. Oyiloye, Ismail Onajobi, Omolara Kukuola, Omoni Akikoya, Onaifu Frank, Ayodele Fagu, and Adebola Ifamuyiwa. These are members who have joined us online. We want to appreciate them, and we are looking forward to their active participation in the program as we move on. A few days ago, we forwarded to your WhatsApp numbers and to the general platform 2 documents. The management report as well as the financial report. So we forwarded those 2 documents to you. You have them on your phones, and by now you must have read them. One of us, board members, is seated right there in the audience. Her name was mentioned a while ago. The leader of the consumer unit taking care of the supermarket, Dr. Mrs. Ajoke Sanusi. Please put your hands together for her. So without those efforts being put in place by that committee, we know what the effects will have been on most of us. So we want to thank the committee especially for all the things you have done. God bless you. The IPC, I understand is there. Dr. Joel Okiwale, we mentioned your name earlier. Would you please come to the front table? We would like to see you there. The IPC, Dr. Joel Okiwale, member of the board, as an ex-official, former president of the Cooperative Society. Please, if you are not angry with him, please put your hands together and welcome him. If we are happy to see him, clap for him. All right, God bless you. And we would like to ask someone to move for the adoption of the management report so we can present it and then we can discuss it. That is the procedure. Anyone willing to move for the adoption should indicate so we can do that here. The adoption of the management report, you already have it. We posted it. You must have read it. So we want to discuss it. We want someone to move it. Oh, okay.
My name is Oou-Asuu. I want to move for the adoption of the management report. Thank you.
Moving for the adoption of the management report there. Who is supporting that? We need someone to support that. Okay.
My name is Oou-Asuu. Supporting the adoption of addition of the management report.
Okay. Thank you very much. So we have moved for the adoption, and now let me quickly present that. Mr. President, sir, should I still read this? They all have the yes. We have forwarded it to everyone. Sir? Key areas. Okay, key areas. The report welcomes everyone. The report welcomes everyone. To also say that the board met as required by the bylaw on monthly basis, and we discussed issues relating to the management of the cooperative society, policy-wise, financial-wise, and decisions were taken in the interest of members. Just to report to you that in the year under review, 36 new members were registered. We brought in 36 new members. However, 23 cooperators withdrew their membership from the society due to retirement and job mobility. So, plus minus, we still have more people coming into the cooperative society to the extent that today, in the year under review, we have 570 members in the cooperative society. 570. In the previous year, the figure was 557. As at 31st December 2023, we are 570 in number. So we still want to encourage those who are not part of the society to please join us, and we are ambassadors. So we want you all to also speak and bring in members. There is one thing we hate to do, but it's becoming inevitable, because when it happens, there is nothing we can do. As we have new members joining us, and some people leaving us, relocating to other areas, there are those who also relocate and never return. We lost a member in the year under review. A member of the cooperative society died. That is the person of Mr. Hassan Adigayo of the Department of Transport Studies. We lost him in the year under review. So we pray that God will repose his soul, and by the time we stand here next year, we won't have any cause to give you any report on this matter, because it is one thing that we do not like to report. We lost a member. Last year we lost 2 people This year we lost a member. Next year we will lose no one. We will not lose you by the grace of God. Now, under the welfare matter, of course, you know the main reason why the society was set up was to take care of the welfare of members, especially during moments of challenges. And the society has been doing that, like the president reported a while ago. Granting of loans, of course, is one major welfare item which the society has always prided itself in. And so, the welfare of members in this regard has always been taken as top priority. And it is seen as a must-do task to ensure that all the requests are taken and discussed and granted. Once you are qualified, you are sure to get your loan within 72 hours. In fact, we do this on a weekly basis, and there is no one who has been denied such request except such a person has run foul of the existing rules guiding the approval of such requests. So all loan applications were subjected to the approved guidelines of the society without any compromise whatsoever. And under welfare too, like the President mentioned, the consumer unit has been doing wonderfully well. They have added new features to their basket, and on a monthly basis now they slaughter cow. I don't think there's any other cooperative society that does that in this university. Those who have been benefiting from that, they know the value of that aspect of the chain. They sell other things as well, but they have been doing well, and we hope they will do better still. And if there are ideas, business ideas that you think society can benefit from, you are free to approach the consumer unit and discuss these ideas and see how far we go in the implementation of such ideas. Because that is the main purpose of the cooperative society. Do some business, make some money, and declare dividends. May we not suffer any loss. Now, under trading, we gave out loans, we did business, but this year, under review, our ability to trade was limited by the paucity of funds. Because, like the President reported earlier, we are still being owed 5 months of unpaid arrears of subscriptions for our members. And that's quite a lot of money. That runs into hundreds of millions of naira. It has affected our trading ability, and we just hope that, like he said, things will improve and we will have more money to disburse. The more money we give out, the more profit we make, and that is why in the under review you will notice a drop in the profit margin, because we are unable to release more money beyond the 3.5 which the President mentioned earlier. And we did that in order to make the money go round. That's why we did it. The moment we receive all the outstanding arrears, you can be sure that people can take as much as their ability to repay will carry them. So, in the year under review, there was a proposal that was approved, and that is to start the cooking gas business. We were unable to do so because of the unstable business environment in the oil and gas sector. That is still very much around. And so we hope when things improve, we will go into oil and gas. When I hear oil and gas, it makes me feel happy. It looks like one big business like that, oil and gas. But in our own case, we want to sell cooking gas. So if things go well, we'll start that business this year. And then we'll see how far we go. In the area of investment, we also did some investments. We put money in some investments, fixed deposits. We have our shares, even though shares are not doing well. We hope that when the economy begins to stabilize, we will be making money from such investments. Part of what we have invested in is the agricultural project, and the white plantation is doing well. They've started to bring up some fruits, and the process of harvesting these fruits, the process has begun. Very soon we'll ask you to come and buy our papaya. Then we have our financial assets investments. We have the fixed deposits, and then we have the federal government school investment, which of course is a 7-year investment scheme, and it will terminate or mature in 2027. So the money we made from that in the year under review is 2,800,000 naira. That is during the financial year under review. We also have lands and landed property. The hostel we talked about is now generating income for the society. We have rented out all the rooms, and we have made some money. So far in the year under review, that facility was able to generate over 4 million naira. And we are still making more. So we hope that we will continue, because aside from making that money, we also maintain the building. So when you look at the report in your hand, you see the details of that there, and that is very important for us to see. Under monthly share-off, the president has also reported that how much we have been owed. June to October 2022, the arrears for the period is still outstanding. The arrears are there, and as of today, the university is owing the society 5 months of subscription arrears, and that totals 298,693,900. That is a big chunk of money, still with the university authority. You can imagine what we would have done with that money if we have had it. But let's say thank you to the current administration, because that money was not owed by the current administration. But the current administration has been able to pay 2 out of the 7 months it's inherited, and 5 months are still outstanding. So we want to appeal to the Vice Chancellor to speed up action on the payment of the backlog of deductions, which we have mentioned. So we want the bossa to help us. We thank him, Mr. Olufemi Stephen Shumi, because he has always supported us. We also spent some money equipping the secretariat and making it functional. So that is also contained in the report. The condition of service for our staff is also included in that report. And I think in the year under review, our former registrar resigned to join this service of the university. And so we have 2 staff members left, and the 2 of them are doing well, such that you hardly will notice the absence of the former registrar. I think that is something worth commending. We want to thank the staff and the secretariat for the beautiful work, job they've done. Now, bank loan recovery, you recall that this has become one major area of concern each time 61,060,681 naira 65 kobo are still outstanding. Those who took the loans have refused to pay. Some are paying, some are not paying at all. And I think it is important that this AGM will take a decision on what to do with those who are defaulting. 10 debtors are not paying at all. 10 have refused to pay. Why 9 bank loan debtors or defaulters are dead? I don't know who we are going to send after them to recover. The AGM will have to decide. I don't have the visa to go after them, but the AGM will decide on that. Now, there is also a report on the accounting, special accounting and financial matters. We gave some money to the our union, Oou-Asuu, 10 million naira, which you asked us to give to Oou-Asuu as our contribution and support towards the construction of this building. We have done that, and the explanation for it is contained in this report. You will have to read that and digest it. The space given to us is also recorded in the report. The spaces are listed, and we have taken possession of that since April of 2023. 10 million. Now there is also the appropriation for dividend payments. It's reported there. So we are able to perform as much as we would have loved to because of paucity of fund. We could only give out 19,613,500 for the purpose of dividends for the year under review ending 31st December 2023. But in order to enhance the desired satisfaction and make people smile, we have had to go and look for additional 20 million naira from the retained earnings of the society. And when you add that to the 90 million naira, you will have dividend payable up to 39,630,000 naira 556 naira 20 kobo for the year ended 31st December 2023. So, details of this, of course, are contained in the report. Now there is an aspect of this report which is also very important. We made request for the renewal of the approval we got some years ago for reduction of statutory appropriation. The treasurer will speak more on this in the course of his presentation. That approval was denied us because they said that we couldn't go beyond the figures stipulated in the cooperative rules. So they denied us. So we have reverted back to the old rates of 25% on reserve fund and 10% on the education fund. The treasurer will tell you more about that. Now there is another aspect of this report which will be of interest to us, and that is that the space we are using for the supermarket is attracting the crowd we never expected it will attract, and that is making it a little bit unsettling for the kind of work we do within the Oou-Asuu Secretariat. It has become a market of sorts. So there is the need for expansion to move it away from where it is and relocate it outside. Graciously, Oou-Asuu has decided to build a warehouse. Oou-Asuu will build a warehouse somewhere around this building where we could do our business survive instead of coming right into the complex. Oou-Asuu has decided to do that. And we hope by the time they are done with that, we will have more space to do our business. I expect that you put your hands together for Oou-Asuu for wanting to do that for us now. You clap for Oou-Asuu now. If we were to spend money on the team, when we moved in, we had so many things, items, that the space given to us cannot even contain. So, Oou-Asuu graciously granted us the use of the space up there where we put our things. We need to take those things away from there. By the time we are done with the construction of the warehouse, things will be more, of course, it will be more suitable for business, and all of us will just like that. So, I want to thank the leadership of the union for this kind and considerate gesture. So we hope that that will improve the image of the union as well as make it easier for us. If you look at the report too, the regular information as contained there, the kind of credit facilities you can get, the duration for repayment, all these are contained there, the percentage of interest and all of that. They are contained there. You are free to take all those ones. Then the conditions for admission to membership also contained there. Now, in this report, we are also proposing some resolutions. They are contained there, but I will read them. But when the time comes, we will sort that out. Given a total dividend of 39,630,556 naira 21 kobo, and total shares and savings of 980,677,809 naira 79 kobo. A dividend of 4.039% is being proposed per 1 naira of shares and savings held by members as of 31st December 2023. That is a proposed resolution 1. We will discuss that. Then number 2, it is also being proposed that we have an upward review of the administrative charge on those withdrawing their membership. We review it up to 5,000. As it is, the charge is 5,000 naira from 2017. We are moving for an upward review of that as resolution number 2. Number 3, we are also asking for an upward review of our annual development levy. Everyone pays an annual development levy of 2,400 naira annually. We are proposing that, considering the economy situation, inflation rates, and some other sundry considerations, we are proposing that we have an upward review of that annual development levy from 2,400 naira to 5,000 naira. That is resolution number, I propose resolution number 3. And then number 4. Number 4. This affects all of us. If you look in this hall now, considering the number of people, I don't even know the percentage of our membership that is present in this hall right now. So, we want to propose an imposition of 3,000 naira fine on any member of the society who fails to attend the AGM without adequate notice. Because what we have realized is that when we make provisions for entertainment, these provisions are always wasted. Because those who need them will not attend. And if you know what the AGM is all about, you take crucial decisions. And when members are not present, those decisions, whether they like it or not, becomes binding. Unfortunately, some will still be dragging us back, will still be querying and questioning the wisdom behind those decisions, even when they were not present, when the decisions were taken. So, when we get to that, we will will discuss it in the course of this program. That is resolution 4. And these are the proposed resolutions we are bringing to the AGM for ratification. So we want to thank everyone for your support and patronage, and hope that you continue to offer your advice, pieces of advice, you provide information, and keep supporting the board so that the board can do better. We thank the Director of Cooperative Services of the State, Mr. Oou-Asuu, and the Zonal Director here, Mr. Oou-Asuu. They've always been very, very supportive, and we pray that the bond of friendship between us will not wane, and we continue to work stronger and stronger. Thank you very much. God bless you. That is the management report. That is the management report, which I have presented. I hereby, on behalf of the President, present this report to you for discussion. Yes, I also have been told that we have more of our members online now. Those who have joined the live stream. We have Oyeneye. No, is it Oyeneye? Oyenye? Yes, Oou-Asuu. Baba to the identify. Adé Alifunmilayo Arinola, Dr. Oyelekon. Thank you very much. That is why your voice is now. It's either you get it or you get out. Oyelekon. Mumibanjo, Efuape, Biodu, and Yusuf and Babatunde, they are all online. Wherever they are, we pray God's blessings upon them. So now, sir, with your permission, this report for discussion. Now, it has been adopted, I have presented it, and perhaps we need to discuss it. So, should I throw it open now? So, with the permission of the President, we throw this report open. The report is already on your phone. If there are aspects of it that you want to raise issues on for discussion, we can do that. Particularly the proposed resolution, because we need to take a decision on those resolutions. 1, 2, 3, 4. Today, starting with the dividend down to the imposition of fine on those who fail to attend the AGM without adequate notice. Thank you very much. So it's open, that report is open for discussion. The report is open for discussion. Yes, if there are things you want to raise issues, you want to disagree, you want to agree, you want to comment, you want to condemn, anything, that is the purpose of this discussion. Because when we get to the AGM, we may not have that. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much, sir. I want to sincerely commend and appreciate the efforts of those that have been saddled with the responsibility of the affairs of this cooperative. I want to specifically mention some areas in what has actually been segregated and itemized by presenting the letter. On the area of welfare, I salute the team, and they have been doing the job. But I just want to commend, because it's not easy. I remember when the issue of the agriculture, the oil palm started, and I know the effort that was put into it. You know, it got to a time, I think there was infiltration, there was some that were damaged, and we were hoping, when is this thing going to start yielding? But I'm glad today that the effort has started yielding something, and I know it's going to yield more of that. I looked at Sukuk loan of a thing that was meant for like 7 years, and I saw the return on that investment. Vis-a-vis the return on the housing investment that the cooperative embarked upon. If you look at the yield on the housing investment, because then people were thinking, I wish you this thing is going to bring results. You know, that of the Sukuk is the risk is almost near zero because the government no, but this one, the housing accommodation, the risk is somehow high. Are we going to have stability? Are we going to demand? I was surprised to see over 4 million return on that. I think the team deserves a round of applause, and we encourage you to do. Please can we give them a round of applause on that? So those are the three major areas in which I've been following what you have been doing, and I want to give credence that you are doing well on it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I'd also like to welcome the former president of the Cooperative Society, Professor Mrs. Oou-Asuu. Mommy, please. You want to join us at the front table? Yes. As the only woman, okay, yes, okay. Maybe it's true, Mama. They want you here. They want you here. Mama, they want you here. You are welcome, ma'am. You are welcome. Yes. Okay. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir. The President and all the members of the table, let me also stand on the commendation done by the last speaker. I want to thank God for the commitment and the selfless work of the management of our Oou-Asuu cooperative. And I've been saying it quite a while, that one thing that God gives to us in Oou-Asuu is that we have committed leaders. And that is why the cooperative especially has been outstanding, not only in Oou, but generally in the state. I thank God for the commitment of the leaders. On the housing investment, I think it's a special foresight of the leaders to invest in that housing project. The return on that housing project is more than the rest that is received. If you look at the valuation of that project today, it's more than what we have in the books. When you compare with the Sukuk investment is dominated in Naira, and what you're going to get is also the Naira value that is actually invested initially. 11 million Naira as at that time, or not that, 25 million Naira as at that time, and invested that money. When you compare the value today, it's far less than 25 million Naira today. So no matter the kind of reward, or no matter the kind of return that we received from that Sukuk investment, it's not well compared to the investment in the housing project that we have on ground. And it's a matter of foresight. And I thank God for that foresight. That's number one. Number two is the issue of dividends that is also supposed to be paid. I think the economic environment is so challenging as of now. And for the management to propose what they are proposing, I think it's also the welfare mindedness of the management, and we also thank God for this. But I'm worried about the proposed fine on members that don't give adequate notification of their absence from AGM. The question is, what is adequate information? And the issue of adequate information can be If next year in corporate bodies, you are not fined for not attending. The penalty for not attending is that whatever is submitted at the AGM, you will not partake from that. We may also say that whatever we are doing as a result of that AGM, we will not give to members that do not attend. But to say that we are not going to find them for not attending or for not giving adequate information, I wonder what is adequate information. I want to claim indulgence of the management to reconsider this proposal. I mean, that is my take on that proposal. Thank you very much.
Between information and notice. What we are asking for is notice, not information. Check the document. Notice, not information. Notice, not information. You are mentioning information, not information. Information is personal, but notice, let us know. I won't be able, of course, it's normal protocol. If you are invited to a meeting and you will not be attending, in terms of the time frame, we cannot process that. We cannot process that. We can process that. All right, we can process that. Okay.
Thank you, sir. My president and the members of the ESCO and the board. I want to also stand on the existing protocol and also thank and appreciate our board for the wonderful job we are doing. This is so marvelous and we really appreciate it. But my own is just area of probably observation. If it is possible for us to look at it, to have second look on it. It is this matter on page 6 that on the issue of this 10 million donation to the union. I want us to look at it. I was looking at it as a financial expert and the treatment, and particular about the treatment. Because the treatment that I'm looking at here, it shows that it's more or less we are moving that lump sum, which is 10 million against the profit on a financial year, which is somehow big. It's a huge amount of money. So 10 million on a financial report of a year is huge. And to my understanding, because that 10 million is not a normal business, it's not as a result of normal business operation of the corporation. So since it is not that normal, we cannot take it as a whole from profit. Because the 10 million as it is, from the statement here, I can see issue of perpetuity at no cost. Page 6, last paragraph there. So if we look at it carefully, sir, I want us to probably rethink and look at it, because as alternative to that money, they have allocated a space. So that space in accounting, my teacher is here, is also an item in accounting. So we can take it as investment. That 10 million can be taken as investment, and we now write it off over probably 10 years to income statement. That is the treatment I'm proposing, sir. So if we take that 10 million and as investment property and write it off over 10 years to profit and loss, instead of charging the 10 million against profit, because it is not ordinary business of the cooperative. So for that reason, I don't think it is necessary for us to take it at once. Then also, if we look at the appropriation on that page 7, we have the 20 million additional dividend. So to me, if we have given that 22 million from the profit, we shouldn't have also net of the 10 million, which is not ordinary business of the cooperative society. So from the other angle, we can treat it as investment property in building because space has been allocated. So that space that has been allocated can also be taken as our home because Oou-Asuu is not taking it from us. Oou-Asuu has given us, because if you look at the sentence, there is a relationship between Oou-Asuu and the cooperative society. So for that reason, we can take that space as equivalent of that money in the accounting process and then charge it over 10 years to income statement instead of taking the 10 million lump sum. So the 10 million lump sum really have effect in the income statement, which is not too good for us as a cooperative society. That is number one. Number two, sir, I'm also looking at the issue of the fines. I want us to look at it. If there are other ways that members can be probably, we share items like my senior colleague has proposed, that those items will not be given to them, not the fine of 3,000 naira. So I want us to look at it again. Thank you, sir.
I can see we will raise the Sunday Dr. Olumide. And we also have Dr. Lobo.
Thank you very much, President, sir. I greet all the Allied Shepherd's in the house. That's what we are. God will make plenty remaining for us as we eat, as we try to eat, not with all our hands. All right, thank you. Or fingers, that's the way they say it. Okay, so I really appreciate the cooperative society. Great things have been happening, and this is what we really believe is a welfare for us in Oou-Asuu. God will continue to promote us in Jesus' name. The first issue I just want to raise is about the 9 debtors. I don't know them, but I know that it is out of place to think of collecting money from people who are gone beyond. If you look at the challenge of the time, had it been there are movements or issues of remuneration that comes to such people that die in this kind of system, I would have said it would be good for the cooperative society to go after that. But the little I know of the current working arrangement we have here, I doubt if anything like that exists, and if it does, I doubt if it will suffice. So my recommendation or my suggestion is that we treat that as a bad debt, as a matter of fact, and then we continue to go after the ones that are alive. And God will help us to recoup all the debts. Now, so that being that, the second one is on the recommendations. I think I can go to the recommendations. The first recommendation is quite impressive and very, very acceptable. But I would want to propose we jack it up to 5%. I would want to propose we jack it up to 5%. Beautiful. The second recommendation is lovely, well accepted to me. The third recommendation, superb. But the fourth recommendation, I would like to join my voice to the fact that at Oou-Asuu, I'm not sure it is in good order for us to be penalizing ourselves for not giving notices for not attending AGM. I would want to plead. I understand the challenge of preparation and all that for the management, but I would want to plead that we expunge that recommendation in its entirety and continue to encourage our people to attend AGM, just like we encourage them to attend our meetings, and then to also give notice if they are not going to be around. So I would want to suggest that we reduce the recommendations to 3, in that wise. Thank you very much.
Dr. is there.
Thank you very much, sir. I equally want to join the earlier speakers to commend the effort of the board. You have done so well, and we are seeing what you are doing. The first aspect, I equally want to call the attention also to the issue of the investment that the board is doing on behalf of the members. Like the HOD accounting earlier said, with anything land and landed property is, we know that it stands the test of time. And I know that before now, there have been a mention of the possibility of looking around some of our campuses, especially the one that is those ones that are outside the main campus here. I know that of the College of Agricultural Sciences. I know that any investment in hostel accommodation here will really, stand the test of time. So I really know, because I know that suggestions have come often and often, but I know the board has some reason why he may not be looking in that direction for now. Aside that, I know that like the one that was done, outside the campus here, the one that is already yielding returns now, the opportunities also abound in places in town. I just want to, implore us that as much as we have information about such facilities that people want to sell off, that members should, be on the lookout for so that the board will be properly notified. Perhaps instead of some of these fixed deposit around here, we can look in that direction. And secondly, sir, this issue of PCs concerning the bad loan recovery. Well, there is a line here, that first paragraph that I want to call attention to. That is the counting from below, that first paragraph, the third line there, that said, or that says, and their loans are not being serviced by their guarantors. I just want to also call attention to that guarantors of these loan beneficiaries, technically we are members, we are colleagues here. And I know that at the time that a particular AGM, the board called our attention to it that a guarantor is liable. And we know that once you serve guarantee to somebody, you are also liable to, whatever the person may suffer. But the aspect I want to call attention to is that is the issue of education to our members in this direction. Because I know that several times, or many a times, without giving a second thought to these issues, we tend to guarantee one another at will, just because we know that we are all workers here, we are under the same employment and employers and this and that. But when the issues come, then those issues of guarantorship will be raised. So it borders, because this issue was discussed sometimes when we were teaching some of our students, and they told us the problem is that of education. That where things like that are happening, it means that the education base, the education service to the members is weak in that aspect. So members need to really know that we can only serve as guarantor to a maximum so number so that people will not just go at will to go and guarantee members. So I want to put that to the board that as time goes on, let us keep on involving our members about that. And lastly, is the issue of this penalty that is to be slammed on members that are not giving adequate for notice. And I also want us to do that with caution, because we have members that are also coming from outside campuses. And like this one that we are doing now, it is built, people elsewhere can also join us. If we can always make use of that avenue, then we will have more people joining in the meeting. And like some other people have said, a better way of appreciating those that are here or those that are able to make some effort to join is to make a special provision for them, for their attendance, whether online or physically, so that whosoever does not join will not participate in whatever is given in that direction. And so that is the issue of the area of monetizing whatever for people that are online or in attendance physically. So we should tread caution concerning that proposed penalty. Thank you very much.
At the back, but before then, I want to check quickly.
Okay, just this is for the members who are online. If you have questions, observations, and suggestions, you can type them out. The ICT crew will extract this and forward them to us for the purpose of clarification and response. For those who are online, type out your questions and the technical crew will help us extract them. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, operators. Arrangement to stand on the existing protocol. I just want to comment on the recovery of the bad debts and the guarantors. There's nothing like this. There's no ignorance of law. That is excuse. We are all academics. That the guarantors should know that whenever the beneficiary declines on the funds, his or her own liability arises. That is why. Then, secondly, if that debt is over 6 years and the demand for the recovery does not persist, then it cannot be recovered. That is the law. Limitation of time will set in. That is just a tip that I want to chip in. That is what the law says. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. The chairman and other board members. I also want to join others in appreciating those managing the affairs of the cooperative for a job well done. The first one is on the loan recovery. Our learned colleagues opined here that I think those who are doing guarantors, they need to be wary and careful, because if you have stand as a guarantor for somebody and the person is not showing commitment to the payment, we should know we are liable for it. So then on the deceased, I think those managing the affairs should make a proposal to this floor whether we want us to make it a bad debt, or we still feel there are some people we can still go and quit in recovery of the loan or debt. Then on the proposal, the resolution that the fine for not attending either the pre-AGM or the AGM. I think it is high time we need to be taking some things more serious, because this idea of just leaving it at our will, I won't agree to that. If you are not going to attend, it almost lies on us to communicate those who are the convener or those who have convened the AGM. But you not attending, no any commitment from your head, that is not too good. No communication, nothing. And we can't just allow it to stay like that. I think I will still want to agree with the fine. If you want to reduce the fine, but something must be attached to it, except you communicate. Once you communicate, it's not about the fine you are interested in, but let us be more responsible. Once you communicate, I think that will suffice. But no communication, nothing. I don't think that will be too good for us. Thank you very much, sir.
Dr. Oou-Asuu.
Thank you, sir, my boss. I hope some of us are getting it wrong. One does not need diploma in law before one knows that the moment you serve as a guarantor, you know the implication. Go to microfinance, go to any bank. The moment you serve, it is clearly written. A blind person will see, so obvious, so apparent, extremely ostensive. So how are we trying to run away or dodge from that fact? For those who are there, they are so rest in peace. That could be seen or labeled as bad debt. But those people that are alive, either they are here or somewhere else, some people serve as their guarantors. We know the implication. The guarantor should be very responsible. I want to put in form of rhetorics to the management now, in quotes. What efforts have they made? Or what efforts are they making with a view to ensuring, have they made anything in the past? Has that efforts yielded the desired results? That's the issue. So if they've not done that, because I know one competing in this university, the leader there, I was once a meeting. They did something of this nature. The man ran away to other university, and he's paying back now. What did they do? They wrote that university where the guy is working. Have we done that? So somebody that you sign somebody, you sign as guarantor for somebody, you know the implication. You know that if the person divorce, the owner is on you to pay. No comment for now.
The management team of the cooperative, I firstly want to join to congratulate the management team for having this pre-AGM and hopefully the AGM very soon as scheduled. I think there are certain things that are very clear. We have seen or we have heard the point of the law, and practical reality has also been explained. In finance, we do what we call risk assessment. I have seen people that have come to me to sign for them. There are people I will not sign for. There are people I will sign for. You have to do your risk assessment. If you know somebody by his risk appetite and the kind of things you know personally, there is no sentiment in finance. You must be able to do your own risk assessment before committing yourself to sign for somebody to take any
that if it is cooperative, usually very full. So what happened now? We need to investigate it. Why are people not coming? Is it the time? Is it the venue? Is it the prepared venue? Is it because they have not gotten sufficient loan as requested? Is it a protest? We can subject it to further interrogation and relate to them. What is wrong? You are not going to discuss your money. You are not available. Is it the workload? Is it the exam? Something of the responsible, right?
I think we've exhausted comment from the operators. We can now begin to respond. Let me call Professor Kanesowo to respond to some of the comments.
The president and high table, my respected operators, I want to say we are very happy to hear your reaction, comment on our management report. But I want to make my comment by making some clarification. The loan we are talking of is the bank loan, that special loan we took the other time, in which the cooperative stand as guarantor. So this issue of bad debt or guarantors, for normal loan, you had the president when he was making his opening remark. We didn't have problem in paying all the loan taken. It is only this bank loan that we have taken some times back that we are having issues with. And I want to provide information also that some guarantors have assisted us in locating our loanee wherever they are, and they have reconnected us together. Some of them are servicing it. So some of our guarantors are doing fine as far as that area is concerned. The third information I want to provide is, we all remember late Alawiye, when he died, he was having loan. The friends rallied around and paid off that. So each time we debate this issue of the deceased members, that area is giving us a lot of concern that somebody died and he paid all the, I think in the Muslim right there is a portion where they say they have to clear this. So it is on this point that we still believe that if we make adequate consultation and take to advice, something can still come out of that, those that are deceased. But those that are not servicing their loan, we are on the neck of the guarantors, and the guarantors are actually assisting us to a large extent. So I need to provide that information. Now, the issue of fine, our bylaw made provision for it. I want to refer you to page 13 under attendance of members, 18 subsection 2. The general meeting shall have power to impose fines on members who neglect to attend the AGM. So we have that right in our bylaw here. I need to provide that information. It's not just coming from nowhere, but we want you to look at it. In this era of technology, if you cannot attend physically, what stops you? Even if you are in your office and you connect this line, you'll be hearing what we are talking about. I think it is overconfidence that is disturbing. Oh, the cooperative is in the hand of trusted hand. I don't have problem with them. But our mission is beyond that. The more the merrier. When we meet here, we brainstorm, we discover new means of moving our cooperative forward. Look at the number of us that are here. Besides that, look at the wastage we are going to incur at the end of the day. We budgeted about 250 for this, for pre-AGM about 250. For AGM, we budgeted about 350 or 400. And it required money. That is why we are thinking that we need to minimize this wastage. What will it take us to say, I'm sorry, I will not be able to attend this AGM because of X, Y? Just notify us, and that will guide our planning. For instance, whatever we budget here now, even if you go with double, we'll still have leftover, which is wastage in the normal sense. And in finance, there is no room for such a thing. That is why we are thinking that No, we don't want to take it for granted that the cooperative is in the right hand of the people. Let us work. Even if we want to be flexible, those of us that are in main campus as academic staff that are member of this cooperative, we are more than 250. We are more than 300. What happened to us? We can't be here physically and cannot join online. I want us to be objective on this matter. Even if it is peanut, let there be a sign of mark just to motivate people to attend this pre-AGM and AGM. And we all know the importance of pre-AGM. All masters are in charge here is just to manage our time well at the proper AGM so that knotty issues will have been addressed and our AGM will not waste much time. So I will still appeal to us. Let us have a rethink on this. Whatever will bring money to the cooperative, don't let us close our eyes to it. If you are on campus here, you are free to attend. You don't want to send apology and you think that those who are doing it is their business. I don't think it's fair enough on our part, and that is why I want to appeal. Let us put something on it just to encourage. It's within our law. Just to encourage members to attend because we survive by ideas. So, this era of ICT, I think we should have more people on online who are joining because what we've sent the linkage by the line for almost 72 hours ago, and we send reminder again. So please, what is what doing at all? Don't leave us alone here. We are not pleased that we are not meeting the expected, and that has been the trend for years. For more than 5 years, this has been the trend. For instance, now, if you want to modify that, if we say only 100 people that are here this year, are you now saying that when we want to plan next year, it's just budget for 100 or 120 in order to guide against wastage? Everything has financial implication, even the time we are spending. So I want us to look at that more objectively and try to see something that will be coming in because of our negligence or nonchalant attitude by not notifying us that we are not going to come. So I am of view that something should come in, and especially those of us that are on campus. We can understand satellite campuses. Somebody coming from Ibuku, somebody coming from Ayeto to attend the AGM, and that is why we even stagger the AGM and pre-AGM because there is no wisdom in it. If we hold our AGM now, and by next week we are saying that if we hold our pre-AGM now, we say in 2 weeks time we expect somebody from Ayeto to be coming down again for AGM. That's why we give a stagger of about 1 month in between, just to make sure that we have better attendance. And these are our people from Oou-Asuu, Abeokuta. They always laugh at us. That it's only in academics that you don't always have better attendance at your AGM. We want to have better image, we want to have better input as far as moving this cooperative to a higher level, and we want to appeal that those who are not coming and that have taken it for granted, we should not let it go in that direction this time around. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Prof. I want the treasurer to respond to some of the issues that they have to do with finance.
Well, thank you very much, fellow cooperators. I want to appreciate your comments and to just respond briefly to some of the issues that concern financial matters. Let me just Dr. Adeloboko, Dr. Adeyemi, and right. They talked about our investments. Well, comparatively, there are several factors to consider in building a portfolio of investments. And all of these ones are taking cognizance of from time to time when we want to allocate our funds. We operate in a very peculiar environment. Our funds generally are short-term. The money from us here, when we receive check from a university, before it comes, you see the map, it's already open here and there, only to just gop them. So if you collect, for instance, 50 million naira from the university as check-up, if you are not careful, you may not even have enough money to pay for the loan demand. And when you also consider our situation in the last 2 years, especially with the non-payment of the checkups, we mentioned here, with over 3 million naira, 300 million naira still lying in the hand of the university, you want to be very careful in terms of application of funds and commitment of your funds to long-term investments. So we want to be very careful. So in the last 1-2 years, we have concentrated more on putting our money in short-term investments. Where you can, if I need extra money, I can call the bank, please. This money I said should be there for 3 months, but then I need it now. Because the welfare of our people is number one. So we have to meet that. So that's will go for why we have to look at the issue of liquidity management by putting money in such ventures. The second leg is also the fact that when you also look at the issue of return, I will see that people applauded investment in the housing projects. Good. But in terms of actual financial analysis of it, the return on the sukuk far better than what you are getting in the housing. The 4 million naira that we generated from the housing projects is just the actual rent received. When you want to know the yield on that, take it 4 million naira over the amount you have invested, right? So in real sense of it, if you receive 4 million naira consistently in the next few years, you are getting, the total value of that as property is about 80 million naira. So if you put 4 over 8, you are talking about just 5% return per annum, right? 5% per annum. And the market valuation is not clean now because we don't have any intention of selling that place. So that is one. We put, for instance, 25 billion naira in sukuk, and we get 2.8 million naira every year. If you had put 80 million naira, the same amount that we put in housing projects in sukuk, we will be getting minimum of 9 million naira in a year. So you can ask which one is better. 80 million naira in sukuk will give us 9 million naira at the given rate, 11.25% per annum. And then you put, the housing project is generating just 4 million naira with 80 million naira invested. So you can ask, so it's, we have looked at that. But then, our concern is how do we balance all of this? We want to put high-yield investments that are also highly liquid, and at the same time fulfilling other parts of our responsibilities to our members. For instance, a part of people that in our hostel, we have our staff members that are benefiting, by residing there. Some come from very distant places, they have relocated to that place. So that is meeting the welfare parts of our expectations in terms of our obligation. So that's how in terms of the yield on the investment there. But we appreciate it from time to time. We keep looking at all of this and see how best we can manage the little funds that's available to us. Then the other one has to do with the treatment of the 10 million naira donation that we gave to our union. If you read that document, the basis that you referred to, Mr. Adenaike, you will see that we have clearly stated there that is an unusual expenditure in the annals of a cooperative society. It gave us a lot of headache in terms of how do we even treat this. And if you were also present at the last AGM, this matter came up. And I think Professor Wasede or someone was suggesting we treat it this way and all of that. Because it's just normal. If this kind of expenditure, if you are taking it to the regular cooperative body outside, it will generate a lot of issues. Right? We can't charge this. I mean, you suggested that we should take it as an investment. There are basic rules that guide what you consider to be an asset in your account. Number one, legal ownership is paramount. We cannot lay claim to that. Things are normal now. We also believe that the union is our father. But legally, when it comes to the entity concept, it will say that you are registered as a limited liability company. So the union is not known in this record. And the union is a shareholder in a cooperative. It will be treated in its own merits as a shareholder rather than a part. So to that extent, we could not take that kind of money as an investment. We clearly look at that. Then we can also not take it as, let's charge it, we didn't charge it to our income and expenditure accounts in the 2023 account, rather. But because of the peculiarity, just like we have been making reserves in the past, right? We went back to our reserve to absorb that kind of huge fund from that account. So, and that was why we put a special report there detailing the retained earnings. The retained earnings is a brought forward figure. If you read it clearly, we said balance brought forward January 1, 2023. So it then be obvious that this is not a transaction that occurred in 2023. So we had to absorb the 10 million naira because it's also good. If it were to be small amount, materiality the concept brought in, we can write it off what we have made. But it's not good enough, and we have enough reserve in the account to absorb the part of the money we have made in the past can be used to absorb that. And that was why we applied it that way. The same thing for the dividend we also took from there. We could only provide for 90 million naira from our current year, for the year under review, 2023, 90 million naira. And we felt that would be too small. And considering the situation of this year, how do we make our members happy? How do we ensure meaningful return on their investment? They should not suffer for the fact that we do not do so much business. And if you have the liquidity to back that up, because that's also part of the rule, a corporate financing and a corporate governance rule, for you to declare dividend, there are certain conditions you must meet. One, you could also see something that do not make any profit in a given year. But they can say they want to pay dividend, right? Except for companies in the financial services sector. But other companies, they can be allowed. If they go back to their reserve and they see there is enough, they'll be allowed to do that. So, and that is what we have done. So we went back to our previous reserve. We have stayed for the rainy days. So part of, helping ourselves in the days that are tough like this was what we have done. So we did not take that money from the current year, right? Number two, we could not take this as an investment because we can't lay ownership to this property. That's number two. So number three is the fact that we have tried to find a way that it will not affect our report for the 2023 financial year, because that year alone is not the one that will benefit from that value of investment. So, I think these are just my comments as far as that is concerned. The other one that I also want to respond to, because also has something to do with our finances, is this issue of bad debt. Part of what we want to achieve here, by bringing up the issue of people who are not being paid, is to also first sensitize us that we have some very recalcitrant debtors. Some of them have gone to the extent of blackmailing us. We have somebody who, you are surprised that in our cooperative, we have somebody who is chasing the debtors on the regular every day. He sends messages to them, he communicates with them. Just like the people who do, if you go to collect money from a fintech and you are not paying, they will call your relations that you are owing so much, and so we have somebody who is dedicated to that. And licensing them, in fact, that effort of what you have been able to generate all that we are able to collect. But we cannot on our own say we want to start writing off, please, this question is important. We want the mandate of this the AGM to effect the property accounting treatment from this financial year in terms of treatment of this debt. If we all agree here and agree that for those that are deceased, for the purpose of accounting treatment, it does not stop us from chasing them. Let that be clear. That's the point we want to take now. It does not stop us from saying we want to collect the money from them. But for the purpose of the record, I'm putting it in the proper perspective in the accounting. We need the mandate of this the AGM to effect the proper treatment of this debt in the account. We consider them as bad debt and then effect the normal treatment at the following the basic accounting principles. Right. Dr. Lisa, thank you very much for the light you shed on the issue of guarantors. I remember that about 3 years, maybe about 3 AGMs, yes, that's about 3 AGMs ago, we brought this issue and we, in fact, made a chronicle of the categories of debtors. Those that were paying, not paying deceased. And at that AGM, I recall that we wanted to say that we wanted that money to pursue the guarantors. But the solution at that AGM was that if you start chasing people now, you will not get anybody to stand as guarantors for our colleagues again. What would happen? So that was treated sentimentally. It was treated sentimentally and not legally. But because we are running a participatory society, a cooperative is participatory, democratic in nature. That's why we are taking all of this. If actually to be in the standard corporate world, what Dr. Lisa said will have done, what will have done. Nobody will be talking to anybody. So, but it's important that we realize that the guarantors will need to find a way of ensuring that these debtors come out and make their payments. So, I don't know what other things that I need to attend to here. So, on that note, I think I can drop the mic there, except for other things that I implemented here. I've attended to that. Yes. Thank you very much.
Why I raise that question is very simple. If you look at the appropriation, we have about 51 something million there. Now we are using 30 million of the accumulated planning. That is exactly the point I'm making. If you look at it, now we are charging 20 million. We are also charging 10 million. That is 30 million out of 51 million. So we are left with about 20 million there. But the question is this, sir. What of next year? If we are unable to raise such an amount to augment dividend, that is the issue. Because by next year now, if the profit we make is less than 19 million as reported in the account, then what do we do? And there is no reserve. So my question is, what do we now do if our profit generated is not up to that? Because my own suggestion is very simple. If we look at our investment portfolios, as you have rightly said, we can invest our money in members than all these portfolio 50% and all that. If we look at it, sir, on the cooperative loan, the interest we generated in that financial year report is about 36 million. That's on cooperative members loan. Individual member, 36 million. And from the report, the member that generated that interest of about 36 million, we are just 305 out of the total. So what I'm now saying is, if members in the past have been generating that accumulated money for years, and we are using it in a financial year to pay dividends,
you very much. I'm a geographer, I'm not a financial expert, but I know that I served as financial secretary of this union, I served as treasurer. Let us not forget the fact that the whole reason, the sole essence of this cooperative, this our cooperative, this our alliance is for the welfare of our members. And the discussion should not be too deep when we are sure of where the money goes. It is only when we don't know where the money has gone that I think we should have too much trouble. So I want to bring us back to the welfare angle of, the cooperative. So following that, I believe that in answer to the question, what happens the next time, what happens the next time, we will continue to grow and our reserve will continue to grow. I think that should be the spirit, and I believe that is the principle in Oou-Asuu. The second issue that I want to, just quickly appeal on is, of course, I take it together, it's still on welfare. You see, one reason why we are appealing that we should not impose fine, it's not because we are not aware of the section that stipulated that in our bylaw. However, it is to note that when we have something in our law and we have decided to go by it, it says the AGM should decide. Yeah, I believe the AGM is appealing. I'm sure what will go round that it was proposed that there should be fine for not giving adequate notice. And people will say, and so the fine is not coming. Okay, I will make sure I do better the next time. We are appealing, we are only appealing, not because, it's the law. Sometimes when we want to use the full weight of the law, the repercussion is usually not the best interest of the collective. And it is that collective that I am arguing for, the welfare intent of our cooperative. And I believe that is what will spill onto the issue of guarantors. I believe that loan, that bank loan, I am sure the cooperative must have guaranteed that loan for those people who are late. And as long as that has been done, those our members who are no more, for those who are not able to have friends like Alawiye that were able to quickly rally around and pay the debt for principles, for reasons of principles that is also peculiar to Alawiye. I believe for welfare purpose, such debt, we should overlook it as a cooperative of Oou-Asuu. If it were a cooperative of any other order, then it would be a different matter. But because it's a cooperative of Oou-Asuu, I think the people did not plan to die. I believe we should see it like that. So it's the welfare angle of the collective that I am very much particular about. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. I also want to join with the professor. I think this is 8 years of our cooperative Oou-Asuu. This is not 8 years of a beauty company. The philosophy guiding our union is very clear. If you come next year, no dividend, so be it. I know people say God forbid. And we were not able to get check off. But we have enough reserve that our members can access loan continuously. Just 8 months or so, check off stoppage. We are having problems. In federal universities, where they didn't get anything until recently, most of them rely on their cooperative to get their salaries. They are not paying back. So we need to apply for that. If we have 30 million somewhere as reserve, I want to appeal. Let us look at our accounting and the principle of accounting. And I know the principle of accounting is welfare enhancing. That 30 million naira could be made available as loanable funds for our member. If cooperative policy at Abeokuta will not be against it, it's money we have made, we have reserved it. Why are we giving it to people as dividend? Why can't we make it available to them instead of giving them emergency loans or reducing the quantum of loans they can get? People plan their life in this university or loan. Let us make it available to them. Even we can go as far as making it available at the minimal cost to them. And we not going there. We put it side by side. Last year, we gave loan of 4 million and we made dividend of 20 million. This year, we gave loan of 30 million and we made dividend of 5 million. We are all well off. People can buy workers, they can build more houses. People can take second loan something. So we need to look at it in that direction. Secondly, I want to appeal. Sir, I am appealing also. I know the rule is there, but I am appealing. I was just coming from the session of the university. I saw some of our colleagues in an important meeting, and there are so many there. Maybe they forgot to send notice of apology. I want to appeal. This time around, I'm appealing that we should not invoke the rules. I am appealing that maybe next year, after due notice, we can invoke. Most times are also hard. 3,000, 5,000 fine. If they are taking from Agogode to Jebode, at least fuel, if they enter some gauge, I am appealing, sir. It's an appeal. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Yunisa. What you said is a perspective, but I know that in previous ADMs, it's been strongly canvassed that people want dividend. And they've challenged management that, what are you doing? How are you paying us this small amount? So that's why I said your position is a perspective. There are other perspectives, and we have to look at everything. So that is that. Now, this issue of fine, we cannot do it. That's why we have brought it here. So whatever you decide is what we will implement. Permit me, therefore, to go on to the resolution so that we have agreement on what we want to do. Before the resolutions, I want to know what is the House saying? Are you saying that we treat the debt owed by those who are deceased as bad debt, as canvassed by one of us? Is that our unanimous position? Should the management go ahead and treat it as bad debt? We will process it for that, treat it as such? Is that approved? Do we have opposition to that? Anybody objecting? Thank you. So we approve that. Yes. Prof.
I raise my hand.
Post approval.
It's not post approval.
Okay.
Because I was raising my hand before you pronounced.
I didn't see it. Okay.
Because one of you in the management of the cooperative, who, to my own view, is actually an expert in finance, that's Dr. Ilo. He said that you have a means of recovering the loan from even the disease. So since, yeah, he said it. He said it. So if he has said it, that we should explore that first before we consider writing up the
fulfilling of pre-year. Resolution 1 on the dividend. Do we approve that for us, for management to implement? Do we approve it? Do we approve it? Approved? Okay, thank you. Resolution 2, upward review of administrative charge on those withdrawing their membership to 10,000 naira from the current rate of 5,000 naira. Do we approve that? Thank you. Resolution 3, upward review of the development levy from 2,400 to 5,000 naira annually. Do we approve? Thank you. Then resolution 4, imposition of 3,000 naira fine on any member of the society who fails to attend the AGM without adequate notice. Do we approve? So we do not approve it. We do not approve it and it stands not approved. I'm going to invite the treasurer to quickly present the annual.
December 31st, 2023. The first page there contains the trial balance as a matter of practice from pages 1 up to pages 1 and 2. But my presentation to just go straight to the point, because we all have these records, and patterns have been implemented as well. I want to refer us to the bottom section of page 2, where we have the income and expenditure account as at 2023, page 2. The bottom, just at the lower end, the bottom end of page 2, starting from there. Right? So, at that point, we have the first item there. Income from the profit from consumer sales, from our trading activities, your patronage of our supermarkets, and the sales of cow and all of those things, the profit we made from that trading, those trading activities reported there. Next page, on page 3, you see cooperative loan interest, 36.5 million, special loan interest, 9.1 million. Hostel income 4.3 million. Then we have entrance fee 185,000. Interest received on school 2.8 million. Interest received from fixed deposit 4.03 million. And then administrative charges 100,000 naira. So the total income for the year runs to 1 million. This is not. Okay, now, if you add everything together, the total income generated for the year is 58,997,749 naira 44 kobo. On the left-hand side of that same account, you have the expenditure, social and development expenditure 103,000, staff salary 4.4 million, office maintenance 1.4 million, hostel maintenance 1.198 million, mileage claims 649,200, bank charges 993,279 naira, staff palliatives 300,000 naira, software maintenance 1.14 million, and then journal adjustment. The journal adjustment has to do depreciation charges on our various fixed assets, 4.7 million. In total, we expended 50 million 13,616 naira 75 kobo for the purpose of operating or running the cooperative for the year. So at the end of the day, if you deduct 50 million 13,616 naira from 58 million naira 97,749 naira, we'll be left with 43 million 984,088 naira and 69 kobo. So that represents our surplus for the year after taking off all our expenditure. And as a matter of practice, there are certain statutory provisions with guidelines we must follow. So we have appropriated the surplus as prescribed by the Ogun State Cooperative Law, which we also have in our bylaw here. So for the reserve fund, we are expected to appropriate 25% of the surplus. Education fund, we appropriate 10%. Then the members' credits, that's the 90,613,556 naira. So that's the actual amount that we take out of this surplus to serve as dividend for the year. We have discussed that earlier. Then others are, we also want to give patronage bonus of 2,199,204 naira. That is in respect of those who have taken loans from us to encourage them to do more. So we are giving them something back in return. Then consumer surplus, community surplus, and then provision for AGM, that is the money we have provided for the purpose of organizing this AGM and not the main AGM itself, comprising of the souvenir and all of this entertainment matter, 4.3 million. And then the balance there provision for social development, audit fee paid, and then the general reserve. So presented for your consideration and approval. And to also note that our balance sheet for the year, as at the end of this period, now stands at 1,320,610,133 naira 6 kobo. That's the status of our balance sheet in terms of public world statements of financial position, comprising the total assets and the fund resources of our cooperative. This is presented for your consideration, approval, and subsequent deliberation. Thank you very much.
All right, that's the account. Comments? Welcome comments. Okay, let's adopt it first of all before we discuss it. Can we have somebody to move by Barrister and Barrister Adeyemi Balogun? Second, there's a second one.
Seconded by Dr. Bala.
Thank you. So it's open now for comments, questions, comments. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Firstly, I want to congratulate the management for having this kind of performance. I just want to implore that in our subsequent business year, the education fund should be applied. I was thinking I'll see the item for staff training as part of our expenses. Our staff, we gave them palliative, fantastic, and it's well appreciated. But they should also be trained, set on training, cooperative training, and other related training that can upscale their skills. So that education fund should be used by them and also by members of the committee and should be used. Not that we just have it there. So in our subsequent expenses, I'll be glad if I can see that our members and staff from the secretariat can embark on training. Right?
once again, I want to congratulate the management and also congratulate the treasurer for a well-written report. Congratulations. I want to talk on 3 items. The first one is on the provision for 10 million naira. 10 million naira that was written off the retained profit. There's nothing wrong with that treatment in accounting. There's nothing wrong about it at all. But then, when we look at the issue of welfare that we are talking about, it will erode the capacity of the cooperative society to discharge on its welfare responsibility to the members. Why? Because it will reduce the asset of the cooperative on a one-off basis. Now, the intent of that payment was for rent in perpetuity, because that's actually the reason for that 10 million. You have paid that 10 million naira to secure a space in perpetuity. And if it's in perpetuity, there's a way in which you can account for that 10 million naira in perpetuity, such that you hold the 10 million naira as an asset, you understand, for the period that you are going to expend the 10 million naira. So you can just look at the 10 million naira as an advance payment for rent, so that it will not rub off 10 million naira at once from our retainers. By doing that, it's reducing our assets and then the capacity of the cooperative, to be responsible and discharge on the welfare responsibility. But like I said before, there is nothing wrong in the treatment. There's nothing wrong in taking it off. But it may erode on the capacity of the cooperative to be responsive to the welfare responsibility. That's it. Number 2 is I see members' credit unclaimed of 28 million naira plus. And I was asking what it is about for 20 million naira that's members' credit that's unclaimed. I think an analysis should be done in order to know what this one is used for. And I'm just making this proposal that the management should look at this quantum of money, because of the cost. We have been talking about some issues of unpaid debt, but then of course you see that this members' credit unclaimed, the figures comparable to that 30 million that we are talking about. This is 30 million naira. I think we should look at it. I think the last thing is that I commend the management to on the interest received on investment, but there are other investments that are here. I don't see any for dividend received. Like from Access Bank investment, there's no dividend received last year. It's not in this account. Like our investment at Oou-Asuu microfinance bank, there were dividend paid in the previous year. They are not captured here. It might be an oversight. FCMB also paid dividend. First Bank also paid dividend in the previous year that are not captured here. I just want us to look at this, and then of course, maybe it's possible we can still incorporate it into the account. Thank you very much.
Other comments? Okay, then we need to stay.
Sorry, sir. I just want to find out. Maybe our shares in the microfinance bank makes us sit on that board, and on a rotational basis. I think the AGM, the pre-AGM, and the management need to also forward-looking and foresighting in that regard. The CBN is capitalizing all banks, particularly the money deposit banks. We need to look at that window and see where we can also do some of our investments in future. Two, the microfinance banks are also mandated to capitalize. And some of the information available is that the cooperative should take advantage so that we can put even our capacity boosted with the, I don't know, there are some interventions from supporters externally that want to be looking at what's going on in the microfinance bank, particularly government sector. But when we dilute the ownership, it restricts, because the law stipulates that is when you have a controlling interest. I mean, the government has controlling interest, that's when they can send their police to come and check. We don't have anything to hide. But for circumspect, I think we need to look at it together. If there are funds we can advance to have more shares in that bank, to dilute the ownership of that bank, such that the 38% that belongs to the university can further be reduced. And I know the university will not be adverse, and I know they will not have money to invest more in that bank. I know their initial interest is to take larger shareholding, controlling shareholding. But for strategic reasons, we still relate better with other stakeholders. It is strategic for us as cooperative to help them dilute that ownership, for that bank to continue to survive, for our interests to continue. It might not be for economic gains immediate. I'm just appealing that we look at that direction too.
Individual contributors supposed to know their balances, not just to go and ask. Not to go and ask, that they should know their balances, those contributions, including their account that comes to internal interest. You got to know at the point in time I play here, I don't know what will happen. They say when I go and ask. Like the pension, you know what you have there every month, including the interest they generate on your contributions. That should come in handy. People can plan their future. Thank you.
Of course, like we also admitted that what we have done is still in order. But we just checked like that. The donation we made was not in anticipation of being given a space, in the real sense of it. They just felt that this cooperative belongs to us, and we are supposed to be part owners of this building. And that was the essence of it. And they said we have also been enjoying the cover of this. So, without, even before we made the payment, they have given us the space to use here. If you have not made that payment, you would have stopped them from giving us the space. So that's just that. The issue of, okay, the one mentioned about the issue of unclaimed dividend of this. That money, well, from time to time we have been explaining what we have there. These are funds or dividends appropriated for members who belong to the categories of these, what do you call them, bad debts, and those that are not servicing their debts, right? So we have not been giving them whatever had been allocated to them. Of course, because they still have shares in the cooperative. So legally they are still entitled to whatever is shared there. So it's like only them taking a lien on that dividend we have been paying to them. And it has been accumulating from year to, I mean, over the, maybe about for close to 12, how many years now? Maybe 15 years. It's 2012 that we have created that. That's why you see that accounting going on. But for those who come forward to offset or to pay off their balances, we go to that account, whatever had been appropriated for them that is contained in that account will be taken as a net to net off whatever debt is outstanding as at the time they want to clear their account. So that's the way we'll be treating that. Then the Oou-Asuu Microfinance Bank, to be very clear, we did not receive any dividend from Oou-Asuu Microfinance Bank in 2023, the best of my knowledge. I didn't have any that. No money comes to our account without, there's nobody that flies with that we don't keep track of. And for me as an individual, I'm not even sure I also got any money from them last year. So we will clarify that later. Except they said that they have put the money in the account, but we didn't get any money coming from them. Then the suggestion by Dr. Yusa, make strategic investment in microfinance bank. We will look at that. These are our resources, and just like I suggested. Then the Prof mentioned the shares account. Of course, that is the right of every investor at any point in time. We've been doing that in the past. Except a few times we had, for instance, at the point since 2022, where we had problem with the payment of our check-ups, right? The check-up, money had been deducted on behalf of members, but we never received that money. So we were trying to exercise caution in updating account and say that this money has been received by us, that have this amount. So that's why, and secondly, along the line, we had some challenges with our software. If you notice recently that we have been sending notices to members updating the account, except that we have not been able to push it up to the current period. But regularly, we have been working hard on it to make it real life. Sometime, and let people see balances in the account being sent to their email. But then, we're also looking at that. We will see how we can improve on that. Even though that's not coming so cheap to us, but we will continue to do that. That's part of our responsibilities. Thank you very much for these comments.
Avoid one of the consequences we were discussing earlier, that is of not attending meetings. I think it's important to mark it in our diaries. The date for the AGM, 30th of April. It is very important. Look at the number of people left in this hall. We want to thank those who are present. I don't know, President Mr. President, sir, in appreciation of those who are present here, maybe they should also be given another round of biscuits. In appreciating them, they have done well. Mrs. Sanusi, Dr. Mrs., they say you should serve them again. Those who are present, serve them again in appreciation of their patience. Serve them again. Give them double, and it shall be double portion for you throughout this year. Amen. So it is well. It is well. So thank you very much for your patience. On the 30th, we shall be having the AGM. We've taken the resolutions, and I also want us to know that due to demand, the demand, I hope we are online. Are we online? Right? Demand. The consumer unit is again trying to kill cow if they want to slaughter cow again, because the demand is high, it's getting higher. They intend doing that, and they expect the people to start booking because of the Ramadan festival approaching. So booking should end, is it by weekend? Yes, by this weekend, booking should end. They've had quite a substantial number of people who are interested. So those who are still interested, if you are online, make your bookings as we approach the festive period. There is an announcement here for those who are interested in farming. There is a piece of land for sale. It is surveyed already. 11 acres behind Funab in Abeokuta, opposite to Mawuko, for those who are familiar with the geography of Abeokuta. And then there is another 10 acres at Bakura village, Olodo Alagbaga, Abeokuta Ibadan Road. If you are interested in that, I think the person to be contacted is Professor Mrs. Shuton Nabi, for those who are interested in it. It is land suited, surveyed already for farming. So you contact Professor Mrs. I think it's about time and the convenient time for us to adjourn this meeting. For us to convey again for the 21st AGM on the 30th of April 2024. We want to thank everyone for your patience and your contributions, suggestions, as well as the critical analysis of the figures presented. We thank you so very much. So, on behalf of the board, I want a motion to be moved for the adjournment of this pre-AGM. The President, by Dr. Yunusa, moving the motion, and seconded by Professor Shomoye. Having done this, we started with a prayer, and we would also like to end this meeting with a prayer. And it is proper that we do so using the balancing act. So I want to call on Dr. O.G. Okay, I think I got that right. O.G. Yunusa, not G.O. O.G. Yunusa, to give us a closing prayer, and we bring this meeting to a end.
We adore you. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue to strengthen our cooperative. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue to make our cooperative to grow and to continue to grow and grow stronger and stronger. As we depart here, we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue to protect us, to protect our great cooperative.